This is my story. Engine 786. I was built by the American Locomotive Company in 1916, way up in Dunkirk, New York. But you might say I'm a true Texan. Been around these parts for a long time. Hauled passengers and freight in Texas and Louisiana for over 40 years. But somehow, when they decided diesel was better than steam, that 18-wheelers could haul freight better than boxcars, they just put old 786 to rest off the main line and into a park near downtown Austin. And there I sat for over 30 long years, dreaming of the good old days, gathering dust, rust, and corrosion. Of course, I still had my admirers. Yes, there were still those who cared. So much so that old 786 was rescued by the newly formed Austin Steam Train Association, aided by a host of others, both volunteers and professionals. Come on along, they said. We've got a new job for you. Slowly, carefully, they moved me out of my old resting place, then over and through some of Austin's busy downtown streets. You'd never believe the trouble they went through just to get me back into service again. Finally, on one cold and wintry day, I was rolled onto the main line. And that was a major step in my long road to recovery. With special thanks to those wonderful folks of Austin, Northwestern, and Georgetown Railroads. They nursed me and cradled me all along the way to my next destination, the Westinghouse Repair Shops near Round Rock. My place of reconstruction and rejuvenation. Well, that's putting it mildly. I was literally rebuilt from wheels to whistle. In fact, my wheels were sent all the way to Birmingham for close inspection and repair. My reconstruction took about 2 years. Hammering, boring, drilling, along with fittings and refittings. Trials and retrials. They found my boiler had many weaknesses. Rust and corrosion had taken its toll. Of course, there were those who were skeptical. That old engine, it'll never run again. At least not under its own power. Good thing the crew dedicated to my recovery was not listening. They just kept right on working. Old asbestos boiler insulation was replaced with fiberglass, and I got special boiler sheeting. After painting, yep, I was beginning to look like my old self again. Long about this time, my rescuers, the Austin Steam Train Association, acquired some vintage heavyweight coaches and began extensive painting and fixing up. These were built for the Pennsylvania Railroad in the 1920s and are typical of the passenger cars that I pulled in my earlier years. At last, I was ready. Full steam ahead. Before I could be put back to work, some runabout testing around the countryside, just to make sure I could handle my future assignment. At work, hauling passengers again, just like the good old days. Come on, join the fun. You get a great ride. 66 miles, round trip, Cedar Park to Vernon.
Load you that way in reverse order. In other words, I need all the people who are sitting in A, B, or C to line up here on the right.
Are you all volunteers?
Yes, ma'am. Which is car A? The one close to the engine.
Eagle Cliff written on their ticket. Get in the front of this line. On your left.
This one a good Texas mud on it.
Not like an airplane. I'm loading an airplane.
Okay, all the way behind the engine.
497 is now 845.
All car A?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you go first? You gotta go first.
You need some help? Okay, here. Just take your first big step up there.
Right. Mommy's got to
Jeremy, car A, ma'am?
Yeah, we would him.
Oh, okay.
I think they want A.
Car A. Everybody together.
Aboard, all aboard.
Probably going to be here another 5 or 6. Motor car is still here. Motor car is going.
Document us. Two little ladies. Two little ladies riding the Hill Country Choir.
Pulling in to burn it is sort of like old home week, a gathering of young and old, with a genuine welcome that train guests won't likely forget. Mind you, Burnett is a typical hill country town, and out of them hills there might come, of course, it's all in fun, pretty barmaids, cowgirls, country folks, city slickers. Lawmen, and of course the meanest and toughest outlaws, all a part of a real old-time hill country fun fest, with plenty of time just to browse around.
Okay, we'll go.
Of course, you know, where there's outlaws and lawmen, there's bound to be trouble. Even a shady character like the lowly carpetbagger is met with hostility. The big fight Well, that's something between the sheriff and his deputies and all the outlaws in town.
Take this, big boy.
Now wait just a minute. How'd this fella get into the act? Want to experience an interesting, realistic step back into the past? Then here's your chance. I'm traveling along the rails again. Come on and join the fun.